Yo, what is up, boys? Stoic Tang with another YouTube video. You know, people always be talking about how they've lost so many times. People always talking about their own story. People always talking about how they keep trying, yet they never succeed. Now, what is success? And how many times have you actually failed? How many times have you failed and you got back up? That's what we're talking about today. How many times did you believe that there was no hope? How many times did you believe that there was no hope, yet you still kept going? Sorry, my hair looks a little crazy right now. But that's maybe because when you got so many thoughts in your mind, your body likes to cooperate. Your body likes to show it off. All right? So what does it mean? Okay, let's talk about this. Sometimes people think they deserve a lot. People think they deserve something. Why has this guy gotten this achievement? Well, the truth is, you've never seen everyone's story. You've never seen how many times a certain person has failed. You've never seen how many times they failed and got back up. You've never seen the things behind the scene. Because in order to perform in front of thousands, you have to outwork thousands in front of no one. You have to outperform people when nobody's watching. That's why working in silence is so powerful. That's why silence is the key to success. Silence in praying, silence in hard work, silence in knowledge, silence in whatever you're doing. You know why? Because nobody will know what you are doing. Nobody will know what you're trying to achieve unless you tell them. Nobody knows your true life. Nobody knows who you are inside your room. Nobody knows who you are inside your own home. Because truthfully, everyone else has their own story. Everyone else has their life. Nobody's looking out on the porches. Nobody's looking out on your house. Nobody's looking out if you're working or not or 1 a.m. Nobody's looking. Nobody's seeking for what you're doing. Nobody's trying to find out what you are doing specifically. So why don't you just let the results speak? Stop letting yourself do a preliminary dopamine spark. Stop seeking that validation. Whenever you post something on social media, whenever you post something on Instagram, you are just trying to get the approval of others. You're trying to get the approval of others. Oh, look at me, I achieved this. You guys better clap for me. Is that really your goal? You know what that does for you? All that does is just create more jealousy and envy into your life. It creates more of the evil eye. It creates more of the negative energy that you do not want. So why don't you just keep it to yourself? And if they find out, then they find out. That was out of your control. But if you are achieving something and you throw it at everyone's face, like on Instagram, you throw it on everyone's face, when you're out in public, you just keep speaking about yourself, about your accomplishments, about your achievements. Nobody wants to hear your achievements. Nobody wants to hear what you've done. Nobody wants to hear how you're so successful compared to them. Everyone wants to speak about themselves. Everyone decides whether they want to hear your conversation, whether they want to hear what you're trying to say in this world. Nobody really wants to hear everyone's whole life story. So don't judge a person because you never know what they've been through. Do not judge a person because you do not know their full story. They may have lost people. They may have lost friends. They may have lost sleep. They may have lost their minds completely. Yet you are there being envious of what they've achieved. But have you really done the reflection of yourself? Have you reflected upon yourself if you are deserving? Have you really reflected upon yourself if you deserve that win? If you deserve what you really want? The only way you'll know if you deserve something is if you put your heart, your mind, your soul, your time into it. That's when you know you deserve something. You deserve that thing you're chasing. You deserve that thing. But no matter what you think you deserve, it is out of your control if you get it or not. Not everything's meant to go your way. Sometimes, even if you give your whole heart, everything you ever had, you give it to this one passion, you don't get it. That's okay. Because not everything is written for you. Not everything is on a paper that's written for you. Not everything you want is going to be written for you. That's why certain things, certain projects, certain people, certain accomplishments that you really want to achieve, certain goals are only meant to be there to teach you a lesson. Teach you a lesson of patience. Teach you a lesson of keeping to your values. Teaching you a lesson to stay and have high standards. Teaching you a lesson to remember your virtues. Remember your morals. Remember what you really stand for. Because sometimes we feel the need to want something that's not good for us. And when something is not good for us, it will never be in the direction of our paths. It will never be in the direction of our journey. When something is not meant for you, no matter how hard you try and get it, you won't get it. You won't snatch it by its feet. You won't snatch that dream by its feet if it's not in your path. Which is why you have to be able to be resilient. You have to be able to remember that not every path is yours. Find out which is yours. And some paths, the reason why we get stuck upon this journey multiple times, stuck upon a specific pathway to where we want to get to go, is because we think another path is meant for us. We think another path is faster. We think another path is what's gonna fulfill us. But what about the path that's right in front of you? What about the path that you've been on for the last 5 years? That path is the path that you have created the most progress, the most reflection, the most thinking, the most mirrorism, if that's even a word. That is the path that you've spent the most time to be on. So in order to change paths from what you have devoted yourself to, you will have, for example, you're up here right now. You're nearly 80% up the mountain, right? And then you see another path right here where it's going vertically up. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to this path because I think it's faster. Then you have to come down the mountain of 80% that you just scaled to go to this one. And yet this one brings you all the way back up to 80%, but then you're stuck again because you didn't take the time to fulfill your journey. You didn't take the time to reflect upon what was keeping you stuck. That's where people quit. People quit at 80%, at 70%, at 60%, whenever they get stuck, and think that another path is more strategic. But what about spending a little bit more time? What about spending a little bit more time in the unknown? What about reflecting and thinking about what you don't know in the unknown? To finally break through the barriers that you were once so withheld by. Take that time. Take that time and just endure a little longer. Take that time to find out what's keeping you stuck. What's blocking your blessings? What's slowing down your business? Find out there. No matter how long it takes, because you spent your whole life getting up to 80%. And if you choose to stay a little longer, to break through, I promise you, you won't regret it. You won't regret staying a little longer. You won't regret being a little more resilient, a little more persistent, a little more consistent. Because once you break through, that's when you've achieved your dream. Stoic 10. That's all I have today. And that's something that I look forward to pursuing in my own life. I hope that resonated with you. And I'll see you guys in another YouTube video.